Okay. So hello everyone. In this topic, we'll be discussing about the message-based solution. And myself, Shadab Hassan. I have 14 years of experience with Azure.NET and BizTalk. And below are the website which you can go through on the YouTube link. In this topic, we'll be discussing about the service bus and the queue storage. So basically, Microsoft gives you two features to use a queue actually. There is a storage queue and the service bus queue. Okay, if we talk about the differences between those, and we'll see how what all the differences which is there. Okay, and let's see a small differentiation which is there provided by Microsoft. Okay. Uh, okay. So if you talk about the storage queue, we have seen in the storage account, if you create a storage account, we have a feature called queue in the storage account itself. Okay. Let's go to a storage account, and this was the storage account just now we have created. Okay. And you can see here there is a queue is available. So this is one queue. Okay, so in this queue, what Microsoft gives you, you can add here and go like add queue name. Okay, and you can add messages here in this queue. Add message, paste message. We have again retention policy here. You can add it here. Okay, so I am adding this message in my storage queue. Okay, so you can send your messages in the storage queue. Okay, and from if you are reading from a storage queue, there is no guarantee you will get a message in sequence order in the FIFO. The first thing. So here you can see here, if you compare a storage account with service bus, so ordering is not guaranteed in the storage queue, where the storage first in first out is guaranteed in the service bus queue. Delivery is at least once, where you can do also at least once, at most once, and automatic operation there is no yes, and you have the pick and lease option here. You have the pick, lock, and um, uh, like receive, delete. Okay, again you have the lock period, lock timing. By default, let's suppose that you are reading a message in the queue. So when you start reading that message, by default the queue will put that lock on that particular message, so that other application will not be able to read that message for that particular time. Okay, so here you have the default 60-second, here you have default 30-second. So once the lock period is completed, then it will be again renewed. It will be available for the other application. Like you want to pick that message and process it. If you are not able to do in the specified period of time, you can ask for to extend a lease. Okay, like you want to change the message, maybe you text multiple like 1 minute time, so you asked, or 2 minute time, so you just ask them, okay, just extend the lease, and you will be having extra time for you. So these are the basic differences which talks here. Okay, again you have the scheduled delivery, yes, and then automatically dead lettering. So dead lettering means like your message is not delivered for particular time. So what happens, service bus put that in the dead lettering, so that will be kept it there, and you can use it for the like you drop the message, queue message, and that has been not picked for the longer period of time, so it will automatically move to the another queue which is called dead lettering. Okay, so that's the feature which you get from the service bus queue. Okay, so these are the comparison which has been given here. And additionally, if you talk about the size of the message, okay, so a storage account, you can see that how much I can store data here in this queue. If you talk about how much messages you can store here, you can store up to 500 TB. As we know, the storage account size is maximum allowed is 500 TB. So I can store all those. I can use one dedicated storage account, and I can keep storing those messages here up to 500 TB. This is the max queue size. But if you go for the service bus queue, it gives 1 GB to 80 GB, depends on what subscription you have taken. So these are the things is there. Max file size for a storage queue is 60 KB. But if you talk about the service bus queue, you can have a 256 KB to 1 MB. So this is again based on your subscription, what subscription you have taken. So based on that depends. So these are the basic differences which we have used. Basically, if we talk about which one we should use, so if we talk about the enterprise architecture and enterprise communication, like if you want to talk to a client, want to send a data to a different client, and want to communicate over the so you should use a service bus queue, because this gives you a reliable feature to communicate, and first in first out feature, and all those benefit you have which you want to achieve with your enterprise architecture. A storage queue can be used within the Azure. If you have one application talks to another application and you want to do some data manipulation, and which you want to achieve within Azure for your application, that's fine. But if you talk about the enterprise architecture where you want to communicate to the other client and want to send data, you must use the service bus. So this is what the next we are going to discuss about this. Okay. We had a discussion about this. So you can see here, the cloud is giving the messaging option, like you have a queue, storage, event grid. We have seen, event hub seen, we have just now seen. So this is again queue storage. What it gives, there is a weakness and there is an advantage which is has given here. So weakness here, you get like ordering of message. You don't get a ordering of message here, but here you get, this will be like costlier, this will be cheaper. So like that, there will be a something benefit and weaknesses there. So based on the architecture, you have to see which one is fit to your application. Okay. Okay. So again, if we talk about the just now, let's it's okay. This is like you are putting a queue, okay, and you have web app 1 and you have another web app 2. Okay, so these are the two web application. Okay, web app 1 and another is web app 2. Okay, and let's suppose that you have a API. Okay, this is your API which you have created. Okay, so you can write your data into from the application to a queue, and again queue will have multiple messages here. Okay, and then that API will subscribe this message here. Okay, so this is how you can do. You can write here in the queue, either it is a storage queue or your service bus queue, you can write it here. Okay, so the benefit you get, like if you are using service bus, first in first out method you will get. Okay, so Microsoft gives you two things. Just let me write queue. Okay, and this is your storage queue, and another things which gives you service bus key. Inside service bus, again, you have multiple things which gives you queue, then you have topic, okay, and then you have relay. Okay, so your queue, either it's a storage queue or your service bus queue. Okay, so these are the things which you can use. So this we will be putting a asynchronous application architecture which you will be achieving with this, and you will be having your application which will be reliable. Like if you think about the scenario where you have your multiple application and want to talk to your directly API, and sometime API is not API is down, or anything which has happened with your application, and your API is not responding at that moment, and you will be losing those application part of that. So what you can do, you write, you drop your messages in your queue, and from the queue your API will pick and process it. Okay, and later on you can get a response back in asynchronous manner. So those you can achieve using your API. Sorry, using a queue. So you can see here. So enable your application to interact on server in different way. So you can use, there is a 3 communication mechanism: queue, relay, and topics, which is there. Okay. This is again giving you what is the difference from the event versus messaging services, which is there. So we have the event, just now we have seen in the previous topic, like we have the event grid, event hub, where we talk about the event bus. This is not the event, this is the message we are processing actually here. Okay. So you can see here again the same thing which talks about like your application is dropping a message to queue, and the queue is processing your data to the application. Okay. This is the similar thing which is there, like one task or services which drops the data and the process. So use a queue to act as a buffer, like it will be like a buffer between your task and services to invoke your smooth interaction for the heavy loads, you can say. So the task and service which runs asynchronously, and that will be buffer. You will be getting time, like your service is not able to respond immediately, so you just drop your message and wait for your response from your service. That's what you can do it. Again, I told you there's a queue, topic. So what is topic? So a topic is like there'll be a multiple topic we seen in the event as well. So what happens, the topic, your sender is putting data in the topic, and multiple subscriber can do a filtering based on their data, what the data they need, and based on that they will pick a data. So receiver will put a filter, like what kind of data they need from the topic, and like multiple subscriber, you can say one to many relationship come here. So or you can say that a sender is dropping multiple data, like one is let's suppose that example of Swiggy or any food vendor which is there. So people are placing order for ice cream and food or lunch or dinner, like that they are putting different kind of thing. So we can bifurcate topic. So this is the topic for the ice cream, this is the topic for other food, this is topic for other food, and based on that, other subscriber which will look for that keyword or some specific value in the topic, and based on that they can filter it here, and they can pick the data and process it. Okay. So that's what it does. So it's like one to many form of communication in public and subscribe pattern, you can say, and you can achieve with this topic. Okay. So this is again talks about message payload and serialization. Like you can like key value pair, which you can keep your messages, and you can have a binary to read those payloads. Okay. Let's see how we can create a service bus queue. Okay. Let's move to the Azure. So here comes the service bus, and so I'm choosing the same resource group. I'm putting the service bus name, my service bus, double one. Okay, date and month, I'm putting it here. So again, you see here the pricing tier, it's there. So based on the pricing tier, again, your size of the message and other features which will be defined here. Okay. So I'm selecting a standard, click on next, and then create. Something 15 consumer pattern. So these are the one of the design pattern is available. So you can go here and have the multiple design pattern available in the Azure, and this is the cloud design pattern which talks about the same thing. Okay, and these are the solution. Like you can go ahead, go and read this context and problem. So Microsoft gives you solution as part of some of the problem which they came across, and some client scenario they'll be having here. So some of the client having the problem, and based on that they have provided this kind of solution. So you have the messaging queue and they have implemented this. So you can say that this is competing consumers pattern which is available, and we are achieving this solution here. Okay, so what was the issue? And the ordering delivery was issue, and this reliability was issue. So what we did in as part of this pattern, and this is the example which you will get as part of coding as well. So this is the one of the design pattern which we talks about here. Okay, so this you can go through that when you get time. So let's see here. Okay, and again, this is my .NET code. Okay, again, we are trying to write some messages in the service bus. Okay, and then we'll receive those messages. So this is like we have created, and we are using a service bus namespace, and we'll be providing the connection string, queue name. Okay, and you can see here we have this three message: first message, second message, and third message. Okay, so we can use this single message as well as messages in batch. So it will be we are putting in the loop till message counter is not completed, and then we'll be sending it to the in the uh, service bus. And again, another method which actually reads the message and it displays it. Okay, so this is what we are going to do as part of this lab. Okay, let it come. Yeah, it's completed. Okay, this is my service bus. Okay, you can see here it's giving me option to create a queue and the topic. Okay, relay you can't create it here. Relay is another service which Microsoft is giving you. Directly you can search here relay, and you have to create it relay. A relay basically gives you a feature like it's like a webhook, more like kind of webhook where you will be having API created and you will be using it. So we don't have as part of this thing which you have to. So it's like creates a WCF relay. Okay, so and the hybrid connection, and you'll there'll be two things. There'll be hybrid connection and the relay. So this is the giving you a WCF relay option, where you don't have to open any port. You can directly go ahead and create relay and use that relay for your communication. You can do cross domain communication, or with any other client which you can do it. So you can have a hybrid connection and you can create a relay. So there'll be two options. Microsoft provides you to connect with your on-premises gateway with your Azure, so that you can go ahead and create a relay which gives you a webhook, and you can use those as part of your service bus. So this is a part of service bus which doesn't require any port opening, and you can talk on the WCF resources. So I'm just creating, so we'll see here topic and relay, which you can create inside the service bus. Again, you can give here service bus name like test. Test service bus. Okay. Again, you have the max queue size defined, so you can have a 1 GB to 5 GB. Okay, you can define this queue size what you want. Max delivery count you can configure. You can be ranging from 1 to 2000. Again, you have the message time to leave, how many days the message will leave. So you can define here as per your organization policy. You can define here, I want for 14 days, I want for 1 day, like that you can define it here. Again, you have the log duration. Okay, so how many period of time, as I told you. So when my application is trying to read this service bus, my that particular message will be logged for certain period of time, so that I'll be able to use that message and do some operation. Okay, so I can extend this log period to 60 seconds. Okay, so what happens till the time my one application is trying to access that particular message, it will not be visible for others. Okay, that's what we define it here. And then you have the multiple things need to be configured here. You can do that as per your requirement. Okay, so I have created a queue here. Okay, so first thing, I need a shared access policy. Like, I can copy this connection string and I can put it in my application to connect with this queue. Okay, and then I'll put my queue name here. Okay, this is my queue name, test service bus. And so let's run this application. Okay, so now we are adding the message to the queue. Okay, in this process. Okay, now the message has been added in the test service bus queue. I can go here and refresh. I can see here the 3 message has been added. You have the service bus explorer here, and also you can use from your desktop as well. Again, you can go here and search for, you have the 3 messages. Okay, cannot okay, so you can see here 3 messages. Okay, those things you can see here. Again, during the putting the message, you can put label as well as part of property of this messaging. So based on label also, you can put a filtering and other things which you can do it here. uh, okay, so this is the first message. You can see here the message description is coming. So these are the things which you can do it here. If you put a label, you can do a filter, and your application and other application which trying to pick the data, they can based on the label, and they can filter it and use it here. So this is how it is. And if you go to overview, see this is currently active. If I'm not picking, if it will active for some time, and then if I'll not pick, it will go to dead later. And if you are scheduled, then it will go to scheduled. So these are the some of the feature which you will be using as part of the service bus. So I'll just go and put next. And what it will do, it will read the message from the service bus queue. So it has received first message, second message, third message. So it's doing the first in, first out. So first message went first, and then second message went second. So I'm getting first in, first out scenario. But if you do the same thing with the storage queue, you will be not having the first in, first out method implemented in that. So this is how it works here. It's simple to do that. For this code, actually, you can go ahead and use this code. It's available here in the Microsoft documentation. You can refer it. You can try to test. So send message to your receive and receive message from the service bus queue. So here we are creating a .NET Core application, like console application, .NET Core console application, and we are using a NuGet package for Azure.messaging service bus, and we are using those scenario to achieve that. Okay, so this is the simple code which was there. Okay, so this is how the service bus queue works. Azure Storage Queue we have seen already, and that also works with HTTP, HTTPS queue, and all those scenario which you can achieve. Just a minute. Okay, so as we have seen as already that what is the difference between a storage queue and when to use. And again, you can see here, this gives you a URL format, and you can browse directly from your Azure storage to, you can put in the queue, and you can use those. So storage account, queue, and messages. So this is again giving a code sample how to use it. And this is very simple thing which you can achieve using the queue. So best thing, like if you want to use a storage queue, use for your Azure resources. If you want to communicate with each other, that will be good. And if you want to use a cross domain and with the client, better to use a service bus queue, but it will be costly. And other feature which you get, like queue topic, you have again the relay is available. So those things which is already available with the service bus queue, and that you can use it. Coming to the lab, again, you have a lab. This is the lab with the developing messaging solution. Okay. So again, it talks about the Azure Queue Storage, and you can go ahead and create your Azure Queue Storage and resources and available in that. And it's very simple to go ahead and achieve that. Yeah. So any question as part of a storage? And queue you have. So these are two topics which we have in the this topic, service bus and queue storage.
No, basically we'll go through and we'll just explore other difference comparison and this and that will be help
Yeah.
us to make. Yeah. That is.
Yeah. So this is a very good comparison. Actually, you can go ahead and this is available here. And it really
Yeah.
talks about so many things.
And also one more thing, as you show this difference of clients have different scenarios, and the Microsoft provided solutions for that also you need to go to, because that will be give good decision maker points, because what was the requirement, and based on that we can go for which that the test
Correct.
cases scenario like that will give you.
Yeah. Yeah. So any other question? If not, then we can wind up the call today.
I'm fine.